how to be, learning all these crafts that are getting lost and forgotten. And when I saw the dream in their eyes of going to America and finally meeting their heroes, I instantly thought that it would be great to record that adventure and to share it with them as well. So I proposed them to go with them, and they said yes, but if you could translate for us, because they don't speak English. So they were going to go to America not speaking English, which was quite funny. And so I guess that's what I try to show in this film, is to make these people, to try to understand these people's point of view, and through their eye, it's also kind of a way to get into the Indian world and problematics with a bit of humor, because the Indians have a lot of humor, as far as I've experienced and seen. A lot of self-derision, despite all the pain and all the difficulties they've been encountering and all the history that they're carrying. Very much like the Jewish people. And so I thought it was a good vehicle, basically, to carry that. It was a good vehicle to try and reach to this situation. And I tried to really keep my feet by themselves, by the side of these people. Some broadcaster definitely pushed the tack of making fun of them. It would have been the very easiest thing to make fun of them, to ridicule them. But it was really not at all what I wanted to do. I like these people. I am also very lucid with some of their, weaknesses. But most of all, what I like is their sincerity and their truthfulness. So I think the native people, the Indians we've met, have understood that. And although it's still a very controversial subject, the subject of dressing and dressing like people who have a culture that's so full of pain. What's interesting is the questioning of how you play an identity, how you adopt a culture, how you adopt an identity, and what it means. For example, these people, they represent a whole group that's very important in Europe, especially in the Eastern Europe, where they're very serious about trying to represent their native culture and trying to salvage what they can, right? So for example, I'll just give an example. In Germany, I've seen some objects that are made by German Indianists, beautiful porcupine quills, very exquisite work. The fact that these people, they're interested in that culture and trying to salvage the know-how and to recuperate that and trying to do this, it's valuable. It's valuable to the people who are conscious that they're losing a little bit of that culture and having a difficult time to keep it. So in that regard, I think that movement is useful. On the other hand, I also know that there is some, deriving effect. Is that the right way to say? Mm-hmm. Where some other people of that big mega group of Indianists, they will just practice dressing up without knowing the meanings of what they're doing, or they will not be interested in knowing what happens to the Indians nowadays. For example, there was a couple of people in the group which are not very forward in the film, actually. They're kind of in the background. Their dream was broken with this trip, because they imagined, the Indians like in the 18th century living in teepees and with the feathers, and like they are representing them. And when they saw the misery in Pine Ridge, and when they saw the alcoholism, also they liked the powwows and all that part of it. But when they saw the sad parts, that broke their dream. So, but they, you know, it's their fault. They should have read. And for me, my interest in the Native American culture is that I love what I have seen over the last 15 years. I love discovering the powers. It was a huge emotional impact, which I've always tried to give back with some of my earlier films. And at this stage, I haven't yet found the way to film the power of the drum when you're next to it and you're vibrating and you feel, wow, they're going to be doing a revolution. You know, you enter a big gymnasium, for example, in the Powwow in Albuquerque, the biggest, the Gathering of Nations. You enter under it and you have 10 huge drums like that, and they're you know, they're singing with such power, and you feel that they're empowering themselves, and it's really inspiring. So that's emotion, actually. That moment has driven me toward that culture and has let me discover little by little beautiful aspects, at the same time as not so beautiful evolution of some of these people. And so it drives me to, with my films, do whatever I can to show the beauty of it, but not only to others, but also to themselves, to the Native Americans themselves. Because if they mirror, you know, if they see a film that shows them and how beautiful they are, then they can have a better self-esteem, which a lot of them don't have at this moment. So it's, I try to reach both ways, like the non-natives who will see, wow, that's what there is still in that culture. Wow, well, we should not let it go. And the Native Americans themselves who say, wow, that's how you see us? Well, that's how we are? Wow, yeah, we're worth something. We should really get our lives in our hands and see something. So.